Today on Legion Cigar Reviews, the Asylum Insidious Maduro. See if it's any good. So, today we have the Asylum Insidious. This one is a 64 by 7. So it's got the length of a Churchill, but it's really just a little bit bigger than a Gordo as well. So it's interesting size. It is the Maduro, as I said. It is also listed as a sweet cap. So it's not technically a sweet cigar, but the cap of it has been sweetened. And this is Insidious. So I'm taking it out of the wrapper. It smells... I think I smell some vanilla is the way I think I smell it. I'm not really sure how else to describe it. It's not really vanilla, but it smells nice. So, I just dropped my cutter and get right up in your faces. So it is a Honduran origin cigar. It does have a San Andreas, which is Mexico wrapper. Promise notes of cream, spice, cocoa, something called a razor sharp burn. So we'll see if we can pick that out. And so that's the basics of it. So let's get it cut and see what it's like. So the dry draw, it's got a good draw to it, but dry draw, the flavor that I'm thinking in my head is if anyone's ever had them, like a Swisher Sweet. That's the dry draw to it. That's what it brings to mind. It's that mild sweetness. It tastes, there's not. It's not like a sweet cigar where there's a lot of flavor and a lot of. It's just a mild sweetness, like an old Swisher Sweets. So let's get it toasted. Now, how long you toast a cigar is entirely up to you. I know some people that don't toast a cigar at all. So it's just, whatever your ritual is. So right off, first couple of puffs, there's still that sweetness there from the cap, but I will say, first inhale, I can taste it. I really taste more of a feel for me, but very creamy. It's just yeah. I did not do a good job of getting that lit. So yeah, and first couple puffs, I do not a whole lot of the other flavors. I'm not really getting any spice at all. Not really tasting any cocoa, and I don't understand the razor sharp burn yet. So we'll see if that develops into it. But it's definitely a little like that creaminess, like it's the way I describe it is it's like the smoke's just thicker. It's just there's substance to the smoke. So, yeah, that's nice. Insidious is technically a CLE cigar. It's a project by, and I'm going to try to get these names right, Ken Baxter, Tom Lazuka, and of course Christian Alora. They got together and made these Asylum cigars. So they're supposed to be pretty good. They're supposed to be pretty high rated. And I mean, this right here, this is nice. But yeah, that does mean it's a pretty good price point, so that's something to keep in mind. But right now, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's burning. There's an aroma that's coming through because I'm keeping the cigar close to my nose, of course. But there's an aroma that's coming through I can't quite place it right now, but I mean, it's this pleasant aroma. This thing has plenty of smoke. Yeah, if you do a quick, like I do a little bit of double puffing a lot. I mean, it's nice, and, you know, good draw through it. Construction of it, you know, it's well made, no vein. You know, the wrapper's not too veiny. Haven't encountered any stems inside the cigar, of course. Constructed nice. You know, it's not flaking. You know, everything seems to be real nice and tight. It's supposed to be all long filler. You know, that's what is advertised. We'll see as it burns. You know, I don't think that they're going to lie about that, but we'll see as it burns if it indicates that it's not. It is admittedly a little bit of a bigger cigar for a lot of people. You know, this is a 64. I prefer the Gordito, or the Gordos. I prefer Gordo-sized cigars anyway, so this is a little bit bigger than what I'm smoking. I'm around a 60. This is a 64. So for me, it's not that bad. It's big enough that it's noticeably a little bit bigger, but it's not bad for me. You know, some of you might prefer stuff like Rothschilds, Toros, Lionsdales. Those, you know, those are a little bit smaller. But you know, that's all about preference. I do think, if I remember right, but I do think they make these in Robusto and Toro sizes. I think those are the other two sizes that they have. But that's all about what you like and what you want. This is a milder cigar. You know, it's set to be right there in the middle. You know, it's considered a medium cigar. It's not too light, not super strong, like some of the other cigars I smoke. And you know, because of that, this one here I really like it. I generally like stronger cigars, but this one here, like I'm sitting here thinking, I make these videos in the afternoon. I'm sitting here thinking I should have bought another one of these for breakfast tomorrow, because that's just that's the flavors, the way that it's tasting and everything. To me, that's where I should be having this cigar. This should be a breakfast cigar. Again, not really getting the what was it, cocoa and spice. I really get no spice whatsoever out of it. But I'm getting the cream. There's a hint of something. I guess it could be cocoa. Doesn't quite taste like cocoa to me, but there's another hint of a little flavor they're playing with the cream that it's just there right at the tail end of it, and can't quite place what it is, but it's very nice. I very much like it. I just can't place what that flavor is. There's nothing to me. It says razor sharp burn, or is another descriptor for it, and I mean, there's nothing razor sharp about this. It's a nice, relaxing, calm cigar. But you know, heck, we're barely a few minutes into this. Let's puff away on this giant stick and see where we end up in a few minutes. I'll be back about first ash. So not too far into it, I just want to point out that I'm having some serious burn issues. I haven't corrected it yet. I haven't tried to fix it with the lighter or anything like that. Just letting it smoke as it does. And this does have a pretty bad tunneling, or not really tunneling, but pretty bad uneven burn. And it's, if you can see that the ash is curling, so let me get my lighter out here and try and adjust it just a little bit. There's an ashtray. That's not good at all. Alright. Just trying to fix it up a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. You know, it happens sometimes. For me, that drives me insane. But it's not really affecting the flavor of the cigar. Yeah, it's a little upsetting. And it, stuff like that. I didn't light it perfectly when I lit it the first time, or I lit it initially. I could be not rotating the cigar fast enough for what it is, for how fast I'm smoking it, and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of reasons why this could happen. It's not necessarily the sign of a bad cigar. Unless it's uncorrectable, then it's always a bad cigar. Yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and do an update while we're here. So, it's not bad. It's still pretty much the same flavors from the light. I will say that there is, like, that thing I don't want to call it cocoa. That's not the flavor that I think of, to me. But there is something in there with that sweetness from the cap and the creaminess from the cigar. There is some other flavor in there. It's just, I mean, it's delicious. It really is. But I just don't know what it is. You know what? The way it's not what it tastes like, but what it brings to mind is not. But like, it brings like a to me, like, I'm thinking about when I'm trying to describe a flavor. What keeps coming to my head is like creamer in a coffee with not enough sugar. That's kind of like the overall flavor of what I'm getting here. Well, that creaminess. I don't get any spice. And that mystery flavor for us. There's something in there, and it's just makes it impossible for me to really freaking name or say what it is. But let's keep smoking it, and we'll see what else develops out of it. All right, so we're about halfway on the cigar. As you can see, the unevenness continues. No matter how much I try to clean it up, it's getting better. So we might get it back down before we get to the end of it. But that's just a big thing to me. That annoys me. But flavor wise, continues. Pretty much there's definitely a creaminess to it, and there's some other flavor. I just don't want to call it cocoa. Yeah, but still, like I said, for me, this is a morning cigar. This is a breakfast cigar. This is that type of thing. It's just with the mellowness and the flavors that I'm getting out of it. For me, that's primarily where I would smoke this. But definitely go good with a cup of coffee. I don't know if it would go because it's sweet. I don't know if it would go good with beer. I think it goes pretty good with bourbon, but I'm not sure if it goes real well with the beers. I don't know. I might have to try to pair one with it because I give you some insight on that. But I don't drink a lot of beer. Let's go and get that ring off. But alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to smoke it down just a little bit more, right, so we can get down to the end here and see if what else happens. And, man, that's good though. God, that's good. Okay. We'll be right back. Alright, so we're down pretty much to the end of the cigar here. And you can tell I never really got it back to being get close and then it falls back down, and so it's definitely a little bit of unevenness to the cigar. But the flavor was pretty good. Again, never really got anything other than that cream, and as I've gotten closer down to the end, it's starting to get a little bit bitter. It's starting to really kind of to finish rough. So I'm about done with it. But so on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this one about a 7.7, 7.8, somewhere around there. You know, it's a the unevenness of the burn really kills me, but the flavors are pretty mild. Like I said, I never tasted the cocoa or really the pepper, but there is definitely some creaminess in here, and there's definitely a hint of something else. So I do like it, but that burn, that uneven burn's bothering me very much. Alright, so that's the Asylum Insidious Maduro with a sweet cap. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and join the Legion, and we'll see you for the next review.